Are handbags from Fossil worth it? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I am checking out the Fossil brand and checking out, are their handbags worth it? Now, before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, I'll appreciate it very much if you consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and on with the video. So Fossil is a handbag brand that is, I would say, definitely not considered high tier luxury, but probably mid-range luxury. If you're looking for something around like the $200 to $500 range, they do have a very wide variety of handbags that are made from a combination of leather and sometimes like synthetic polyurethane. So for this video, I want to talk about, are the handbags from Fossil worth it? For us to come to the conclusion whether it's worth it, we're going to go over the history, the design, the pricing, the quality of material, durability, customer service, and the resale value. Hopefully this video will be helpful for you in deciding whether to purchase a handbag from this particular brand. So the Fossil brand has really caught my interest over the last few months. I find that a lot of their designs are actually quite classic, very clean, very minimalistic, which is totally down my alley, which is why I got a chance to check out the Fossil store. And if you're interested, you can check out my video on the shopping trip that I did at Fossil to check out what handbags that they have available separately. But for me, I had previously purchased a lot of wallets from Fossil in the past. I would say back in university and maybe like my high school years, and I absolutely loved them. They were, I would say, quite indestructible and still in use today. Some of their newer style has really caught my attention. And even though it's not like a top tier designer brand, I do find that they have a lot of good, modern, classic looking handbags that are within a very affordable price range. So let's dive into the different categories and deciding, is it worth it to pick up a handbag from Fossil. History. So the company was founded in 1984. It began as a distributor for imported watches, but quickly expanded into designing and manufacturing watches and other fashion accessories. But for this particular video, I want to focus on my love for handbags. So I'm just going to look at the handbags from Fossil brand. Design. I find that a lot of the Fossil handbags are very minimalistic in terms of their design. They don't stand out in a crowd, which I kind of like. It's a little bit understated and not super flashy. I also like how the designs are really well thought out. Like, they think about the functionality of the user in mind. There's lots of compartments and pockets for you to organize your belongings. And some of the handbags are, as you can see, are not super structured, so still malleable and very soft. So it's easy for you to kind of put your belongings inside, and there is a little room to give. Pricing. On average, a Fossil handbag can range anywhere from like $160 or so to upwards of around $500, I would say $600. Really depends on the material, the style, how popular it is, and the color as well. They do have a lot of seasonal handbags that go on sale, and if there's one that you really like, I think if you are patient enough and you wait for it, there's usually a pretty good sale online or in store, and you can also stack it up with your online Rakuten to get extra discounts. So I think it's a very reasonably priced brand considering that the handbags are made out of leather. Which brings me to talk a little bit about the quality and the material that they use. I find that their older handbags are a little bit better in quality, but I think it's the same story for a lot of handbag brands nowadays, that the quality has declined over the years. They use a lot of like not bad quality leather, I would say. I'm sure it's not top tier, but I do find that they're using a combination of synthetic leather trims nowadays that will cut down on the cost, but also makes the bag a little bit more durable. I find some of the newer Fossil bags have like thinner strap. Generally, that makes it not as durable because the strap undergoes a lot of stress on a regular basis, and some of the hardware feels a little bit more flimsy compared to before. But other than that, like, given the price that you're paying, I think it's pretty reasonable. durability. I find that the Fossil handbags are actually very durable and very hard wearing. It looks better with regular use, especially with the leather that it's made out of. It gets softer over time. It's a very practical handbag brand, I find, and the handbags do hold up well, at least for the ones that I use from like my university days. I think some of the newer ones, the leather is a little bit thinner, so maybe not as durable, but like still not bad, I would say. Customer service, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about, and that's Fossil has pretty good customer service, and like the sales associates are super helpful, and sometimes they will do replacements for some of the handbags for defects that they have free of charge, and that's really nice detail that they have. Resale value. Now I think it's just being super honest here, like the resale value for Fossil handbags are really not great at all, if any. I think it's really hard to sell a Fossil handbag even if it's in really good condition. I think part of it is because the brand is not as well known, is not as popular, is not as appealing for a large wide audience. Because of this, in addition, they have so many sales happening on a regular basis that people would think like, why buy a pre-loved Fossil handbag when you can just get a brand new one with a really good sale with like the newest style at their store. So I wouldn't buy a Fossil handbag for resale purposes. But if you really like the style and you like the handbag, I think you should totally go for it, because if you're gonna wear it, I think for cost per wear, it'll be totally worth it. So now that I've gone over like the history, the design, the pricing, the durability, the quality, customer service, and the resale value, now I want to come to the final conclusion. Are Fossil handbags worth it? While I can certainly say that they are great workhorses that will serve you well for like many years. I think they're great like handbags for like everyday use, especially if you're worrying about like banging your handbags up and like scratching them. Like they're actually pretty indestructible for the most part, I would say. And they're very great like long lasting handbags. If you're looking for something more minimalistic on a budget but you still want like real leather, of course some of these have like minor synthetic trims, I think Fossil is a great budget option. You get great value for what you get. It's still good after you rough it up, and I think it's a great option for mommies if you don't want to splurge on a super expensive leather handbags but you want something still like trendy and like made out of real leather that will like soften over time and even look better with use. I think Fossil is a great choice, and they have such a wide variety. I'm quite impressed by the styles that they have. I think some of the styles that they're coming out with is just very appealing, very modern, classic. I think it's a great choice and a totally underrated brand. So TLDR, long story short, I think that Fossil is definitely worth the money, especially if you get it on sale with like some of the stack discounts as well as some of the Rakuten deals that you can get on top of it. So that's it for today's video on Fossil handbags. Are they worth it? I would love to hear from you at this point. Do you think Fossil handbags are worth it? Would you buy from this handbag brand? And also, based on this video, you saw my brief shopping trip over at Fossil. Are there any handbags that caught your eye and you're considering adding to your wish list? I would love to hear from you, and especially for those of you who purchased handbags more recently in the last few years from Fossil, can you speak a little bit about like the quality and your experience with it? Because like the ones I've had is like much older, and I would say like they're pretty indestructible, but I would like to hear from you guys, like for some of the more trendier, newer handbags, has the quality sustained itself? Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this mommy review, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.